All right, guys, welcome back. Oh, we are block sanding the primer on this 69 Dodge Dart. If you haven't seen the previous videos leading up to this point, I would recommend going and watching those, and that'll catch you up and get you to where we are now and what we had to do to get here. But we're trying to get this thing level, and here very shortly we'll be spraying our sealer and base clear. I've got a little spot right here that's just the most minute amount of lowness right there. But I noticed, hopefully you can see it on camera, I noticed right here I'm starting to get thin on my primer. So I found a happy medium in between this high spot and this low spot. So we're gonna stop on that area right there. I don't want to go through my primer. You know, it'll just, we might end up having to reprime it or something along those lines, and I'd rather not. I would much rather just continue forward without having to take any steps back. But I gotta tell you guys, this car is pretty flat. Whoever it was that done the body work on it to start with, they did a pretty good job. Because I know there's body work in this area here. I can see the dent on the other side. But they got it pretty darn flat. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button and hit your notification bell. That way you'll be notified whenever I put out a new video. I'll do a whole series on this Dodge Dart. If you've seen any of my other videos, you know I've done a whole series on the Suzuki Intruder paint job. All right, right here. See if I can move you down a little bit without dumping you out on the floor. Right here, we have where I had to go all the way through the metal. If you've seen the video before, there was some blistering coming all the way through the paint, and the automotive primer and then the rattle can primer. So I've got an etch around the paint. As you can see, it's light here around the edges and then a dark line that goes all the way around it. We're going to see if we can get that to go away. And I kept that in mind while I was priming this car. I knew I had several uneven surfaces that I was going to have to get rid of. So I made sure that I put enough primer on here, hopefully to get it in one shot. Just about done. Well, you can't feel it. Still want to see if I can get all the black out of it. Just like that. See, the primer got real thin right here. See how that light gray primer is starting to show. Still got my primer on top of it. So, but we were able to get every bit of that out. That was the only section really on this deck lid that I had any concern with when I went through and looked at the surface to try to get an early determination on what I was going to be dealing with. That was the spot that if I was going to have any trouble, that's where it was going to come from. But yeah, mad props to whoever done the body work, because they done a pretty good job. I've seen them so much worse. Got a low spot right here. I'm gonna see if I can get that out. Put a little more pressure. Sort of spread it out so that we don't cause a weird. Alright, that's about as low as I want to go. I'm starting to see through this up here. So that's as low as we're gonna go there. It's really, really flat. I just like to see all the black gone. The owner told me, he said, you know, we're painting it white because we don't want to spend all of that time and everything trying to get it straight. My goal is that if they don't want to keep this car white, the body is in good enough shape, they can paint it whatever color they want to paint it. That's what I like. I do the same steps on every car that I paint. It's just a good practice. It's just a good practice to do all the steps, no matter what color you're painting the car. I feel like if you do a halfway job, whether anything ever comes back and bites you or not, I feel like if you do a halfway job, you're just doing the owner a disservice. You know, I don't think it's right. People pay really good money, you know, and they expect a return on that investment. And the return is a well painted vehicle, as far as I'm concerned. So we always try to get these things as straight as we possibly can. It's a little more time consuming, a little more back breaking. But I think it's time to rotate my paper. I don't feel like I'm doing much. But it's well worth it to me when you see that finished product. Nice and straight reflection lines. And plus your name's on it. You know, somebody will ask who painted this car. And I don't want my name on something that looks like crap. Oh, we're biting now. And sometimes things come back to bite you in spite of how you tried to make sure you covered all your bases and make sure you've done each step just right. Sometimes chemicals just have a bad day. Now this right here is really high, or this right here is really low. Because I've been standing here for a few seconds, and this black is not going anywhere. So I'll be watching back here real close, so that when this stuff starts getting transparent and start darkening back up right here, I'll know to stop, whether I'm through that or not. Yeah, that spot right there is, you can't feel it. But the guide coat don't lie. That spot is low. There it goes. I just got into it. And I still got plenty of primer right there. I'm sanding all the way to the edge, but I'm not making sure that my paper doesn't roll. I don't want to go through the metal anywhere. Even though I'm putting a nice stout sealant on it, I would rather that sealant go on top of primer than straight to metal. It will adhere to metal, but I would rather not. All right, guys, I'm gonna pause you real quick, wipe my hands off, and smoke a cigarette, and I will bring you back here momentarily.